Hello students, I hope all of you are fine and doing well. Today we are going to start with our new chapter, that is chapter number 5, cash flow statement from volume 3. Okay, now talking about cash flow statement, what is cash flow statement? This is a statement which shows inflow and outflow of a cash during a particular period. That means it shows how much amount of cash is coming in and going out from the business during a particular time. Okay, it shows source of and application of cash. That means from where the cash is coming and where the cash is going. It shows for a particular span of time. Okay, and it shows the difference between why there is difference between opening cash and closing cash. There's always difference between closing cash and opening cash, and the reason behind that is seen in cash flow statement. And here we consider cash as cash and cash equivalents also. So cash and cash equivalent means cash, any other equivalents which are considered as cash, that means like bank or marketable securities. Okay, so it shows, this statement shows how the cash is effective. The cash flow can be prepared for past also and for future period also. Now see, cash flow consists of three activities, that is operating activities, investing activities, and financial activities. These all three activities are shown in cash flow statement. That means cash due to these activities is affected, and how it is affected is shown in cash flow statement. Now starting about from the first activity, that is operating activity. So operating activities are the activities which are the main activities of enterprise. That means it is a main cash or revenue generating activity of the enterprise. Here we can see, like from activity, operating activity, we have cash inflow in the form of cash sales, cash received from debtors, or commission received, or loyalty received. This is cash inflow from operating activities. And even there can be cash outflow due to operating activities, that is cash purchases, payment to creditors, cash operating expenses, payment to wages, income tax, manufacturing expenses. These all are, there are many other cash outflows due to operating activities, but this is just a general idea here, so that you can get to know that what is our operating activities of a business. Then coming to here, we are also having two factors, that is there can be non-financial companies and financial companies. Okay, for non-financial companies, the operating activity can be like cash received from sales, or cash received from debtors, or cash paid to creditors. So this is for non-financial company. If a company is financial, that means it deals generally in finance. For that company, operating activity can be like interest paid on loan, or payment of interest on loan, receipt from sale of security, interest received on loan. These all are the operating activity for financial company. These are not operating activities for non-financial companies. But if the company is financial, that means it generally deals in finance related activities. Then these transaction becomes operating activities for them. Now a bit next are cash flow from investing activity. Now as this word is investing activity, that means activity done by a business in investing. That means if you're investing something, if you're investing your money in something which for long run, like purchase of building, plant, which is not hold for resale. Okay, so that type of activities, the cash and that type of activities is called cash flow from investing activity. Like it can be cash inflow from activity can from investing activity can be sale of fixed assets, sale of investment, interest received. That means these are inflows due to investment activity. A firm is investing somewhere, it is investing some its amount somewhere as so as to earn in profit in long run. Okay, so we are doing this as investment. Okay, so outflow from this can be purchases of fixed assets, purchases of investment. Okay, so here these activities are like related to cash invested somewhere. And then we are going to learn about cash flow from financing activities. Now financing activity relates to the business transactions which affects the long term liabilities and equities of the firm. That means cash flow or cash inflow or outflow from finance related activities where we have invested or we have earned our income related to something which is related to finance of the firm. It is not generally related to operating or day to day expenses, but it is related something to the finance. For example, if we have issued shares of our firm, so we have issued shares. Why have we issued these shares? To get the money from market. So when we issue these shares in the market, this is termed as financial activities. Okay, so financial activities, cash flow from financial activities can be issue of shares in cash, issue of debentures in cash. See, here one thing is clear: in cash. Okay, why this is considered cash? Because we are learning about cash inflow and outflow. If it is not related to cash, it is not part of cash flow statement. So proceeds from long term borrowing, if we have borrowed money from from any long term borrowing like debentures or public deposits. Okay, and cash outflow of financial activities can be payment of loans, redemption of preference share, payments of dividend. These can be activities of finance related activities of cash flow statement. Okay, now learning about preparing how to prepare cash flow statement. Generally the order is like, first we have to see cash inflow and outflow from operating activities, then from financing activity, and then from investing activity, and lastly from financing activity. And there are two methods, direct and indirect method, but generally we use indirect method, and generally most of the companies uses indirect method, and even in our syllabus we are having indirect method of cash flow statement. So we are going to learn about indirect method of cash flow statement. Now see, here I am having format related to cash flow from indirect okay, format related to cash flow. Now starting from beginning, see, first of all what you have to see is, what you have to write is cash flow from operating activity as per the order. First of all what we have to do, we have to go with cash flow of operating activities. For that, what do you require? First of all, you require net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Now what is this? Okay, so I'll just teach you first this net profit before tax and extraordinary items, and then we will move forward with the format of this. So let us see how we have to find net profit before interest and before tax and extraordinary items. Here I am having a format related to this. See, you have to find the net profit before tax and extraordinary items, and generally what in the question what will be given to you, generally net profit after tax as per statement of profit and loss would be given to you. So here what you have to do, you have to add back provision from income tax during the year, because what do we require? We require profit before tax. So here we will add those tax, and we want profit before those extraordinary items. So we will add back all the expenses, extraordinary expenses which are debited in profit and loss statement. Okay, and now what is extraordinary items? That is extraordinary item is nothing but income and expenses which are not related to general business transactions, which are not related to general transaction. That means it is not from the general event or transaction of our ordinary business. Okay, so these extraordinary items are to be debited, and that means are to be added back. Okay, which are extraordinary items which are debited in profit and loss are to be added back. And if there is any refund of income tax credited in income statement, that is to be decreased. That is, you have to subtract, and you have to subtract extraordinary item credited, that is income credited to profit and loss statement. Then you will get your net profit before tax and extraordinary item. That means we don't have to give effects of extraordinary item in cash flow statement. Now I'll solve a sum related to this so that it will give you clear idea how this is to be done, or how you have to find out net profit before tax and extraordinary items. So let us move to sums related to it. Now starting with sums related to net profit before tax and extraordinary item, this is the first question which says, see, it is saying this is the following extract. What we are given surplus of balance in statement of profit and loss. That means this is a profit is given to us, but it is related to 2 years, 2020 and 2019. Dividend payable is given, and additional information is given, that is proposed dividend for the year ended 31st March 2019-20 were 4 lakh and 5 lakh. Okay, now as I told you, for this you have to begin with what? Net profit before, that means net profit after tax and extraordinary item, and this is net profit after tax and extraordinary item, but it is related to 2 years. So for our cash flow statement, what we'll write net profit, but what we will do, we'll find it by subtracting opening from closing. So closing less opening, this will be net profit after tax and extraordinary items, which is already given here. But whenever you are given data related to 2 years, you have to find it by deducting opening from closing. So closing is 10 lakh and opening is 5 lakh. So 10 lakh minus 5 lakh, you'll get it as 5 lakh. Okay, so here it will be 5 lakh. Now what we have to do, what did I told you? You have to add back extraordinary expenses and tax if it is there. So here in this data, we are not given any info related to tax, but we can find out if we are having any extraordinary expenses here. Say dividend payable is not part of extraordinary item, but here additional information, proposed dividend of 2 years is given of 2019 and 2020. See, proposed dividend is when we have to pay dividend on shares. Okay, this is a dividend which is to be paid on to shareholders, and it is to be approved in an annual general meeting. So it is always assumed that of last year it is always approved, and dividend of, that means proposed dividend of last year, that means previous year, that is of 2019 here, is to be added back. For current year it is just proposed. Okay, so nothing is done, nothing related to dividend of current year is to be done. What we have to do, we have to add back proposed dividend of previous year, as this is part of our extraordinary item, and it is approved by it is approved in annual general meeting. Okay, so what we will do, we will add back proposed dividend, and we will add back proposed dividend of previous year. Always remember, you have to add back this proposed dividend of previous year. So adding proposed dividend of previous year, that is 4 lakh. If you add back this, you don't have any other income to be subtracted. If there is any extraordinary income, we have to subtract, but we are not having, so we'll just add back. You'll get 5 lakh plus 4 lakh, 9 lakh, and that will be your net profit before tax and extraordinary items. To next question, that is question number 6. See what here it is saying, what you are having equity share capital, 10% preference share capital, then you are having balance in statement of profit and loss. Okay, so this you have to start with. Okay, unpaid dividend is given, then proposed dividend of 2019 and 18 is given to you. For 18, that is previous year 1,60,000, and for current year it is given 2 lakh, and for interim dividend is given to you as 40,000. So again, what you'll start with net profit after tax. This is sum number 6. You'll start net profit after tax and extraordinary items. Okay, and that will be closing less opening, and you are given closing as 7,20,000 and opening as 4 lakh, so you'll get it as 3,20,000. Now what you have to do, you have to add back extraordinary expenses if any. So here we are having, again we are having proposed dividend. So what you will do, of previous you have to add, that is of 1,60,000 previous year, you will add proposed dividend, that is 1,60,000. And then what you have to do, and another thing you are here, we are given is interim dividend on equity share capital. Now see, whenever you are given interim dividend on equity share capital, we all know that equity shareholders are given dividend after paying dividend to every shareholder or any other shareholder. So here what you are having 10% preference share capital also. Okay, so you have to pay 10% amount to that is 10% dividend to preference shareholders also, and you are having your dividend your share capital as 6 lakh. So you have to pay 10% of preference. It is not stated here that we have paid, but it is very obvious. If whenever you are given interim dividend to on equity share, it is obvious that the dividend on preference share must have been paid. Okay, so you have to add back dividend on preference share, that is 10% of 6 lakh. You have to add. This is the most common mistake which you will commit, finding net profit before tax and extraordinary item. You will forget adding 10 this dividend on preference share. So pay attention, you don't have to forget. Whenever you are paying dividend to equity share, it is mandatory and it is obvious that you have already paid it to preference shareholders. So you have to add dividend to preference shareholders. That is of 60,000, because this 10% of 6 lakh will be 60,000, so that will be 60,000. And then you have to add interim dividend which is paid because it is part of extraordinary item. So interim dividend is added back. Okay, that will be 40,000. Adding this, you'll get your answer as 5,80,000. So this will be net profit before tax and extraordinary items. I hope this is clear. This point is to be noted. Please do pay attention on this point. Okay, now moving to next question, that is we are going to do question number 8. Now see, in question number 8, what you are given, again you are given opening and closing. So you'll write down net profit, closing minus opening, and then what it is given, dividend paid during the current year is given, interim dividend paid during the current year is given, transfer to reserve. So these all are extraordinary expenses which are to be added back. Okay, dividend paid in current year, interim dividend during the year, transfer to reserve, provision for tax to current year, this is also is to be added back. Then loss due to earthquake is to be added back. Refund to tax is to be deducted because this is part of your income, so incomes are to be deducted. And insurance proceeds from earthquake disaster settlement is to be deducted because this is part of your income. After adding these all and deducting this, you'll get your net profit before tax and extraordinary items. And question 9 is as same as question number 8. Just what you are given here, your opening surplus is given is negative. So I hope you know how to calculate when it is given in negative. What you have to do, closing less opening, but the opening is in negative. So you have to just write closing less opening, and this amount is to be written in negative. So ultimately this will be added back. Okay, this both will be added and rest all is same. I hope you can do this sum yourself. Keep learning. Thank you.